the first witness for the prosecution at Donald Trump's hush criminal trial. Returning to the stand, National Enquirer publisher
Pecker has told the jury about his efforts to suppress negative stories about Trump to protect his 2016 presidential bid, including paying out a $150,000 deal with former Playboy model Karen McDougal, who claimed she had an affair with Trump. Pecker never published her allegations.
That's Fox's Chandler Painter. Trump has denied any romantic links. The anti-Israel encampment remains on the campus of Columbia University. Its president says if they don't strike a deal with students, she will consider other options for clearing them out. And Southern Cal, Los Angeles, cancels its main graduation due to pro-Palestinian protests. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Talk starts now.
Late one evening, could have been dark, and a group of engineers began an electrical engineering experiment on a deadly piece of equipment. The engineers, who had little knowledge of the physics surrounding this piece of equipment, they just wanted to see if the unit's turbine could run emergency water pumps on inertial power. The equipment was part of a larger operation in a very small settlement called Pripyat. As part of their poorly designed experiment, the engineers disconnected emergency safety systems and its power regulating system. Next, they compounded this recklessness with a series of mistakes. They ran the unit at a power level so low that the equipment became unstable, and then they removed too many of the unit's control rods in an attempt to power it up again. The unit was reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. An experiment. The year was 1986. The date was today. The reactor's output rose to more than 200 megawatts, but was increasingly difficult to control. Nevertheless, at 1:23 in the morning, the engineers continued with their experiment and shut down the turbine generator to see if its inertial spinning would power the reactor's water pumps. Turns out it did not adequately power the water pumps, and without cooling water, the power level in the generator surged. It was running out of control. To prevent the meltdown, the operators, remember, they were not trained in this operation, reinserted all of the 200-some control rods into the reactor at one time. The control rods were meant to reduce the reaction, but had a design flaw. Graphite tips. Go figure. So before the control rod's 5 meters of absorbent material could penetrate the core, 200 graphite tips simultaneously entered, thus facilitating the reaction and causing an explosion that blew off the heavy steel and concrete lid of the reactor. It was not a nuclear explosion, as nuclear power plants are incapable of producing such a reaction, but was chemical, driven by the ignition of gases and steam that were generated by the runaway reaction. In the explosion and ensuing fire, more than 50 tons of radioactive material were released into the atmosphere, where it was carried by air currents. 32 people were killed immediately in the blast zone, but in keeping with tradition, the Soviets said nothing. 2 days later, on the 28th, Swedish radiation monitoring stations more than 800 miles to the northwest of Chernobyl reported radiation levels 40% higher than normal. Later that day, the Soviet news agency finally acknowledged that a major nuclear accident had occurred at Chernobyl. The radiation that escaped into the atmosphere, which was several times that produced by the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, was spread by the wind over northern and eastern Europe, contaminating millions of acres of forest and farmland. An estimated 5,000 Soviets eventually died. They died from cancer and other radiation-induced illnesses caused by their exposure to the radiation. Millions more had their health adversely affected. If Russia acknowledged 5,000 Soviet citizens died, there was probably 50,000. Finally, in the year 2000, 14 years later, the last working reactors at Chernobyl were shut down and the plant was officially closed. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
And I'm Lee Barrels.
Chris Marks.
Chris, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Chris is right in there.
Yeah, thank you
Morning,
for coming in this morning.
My pleasure.
Kelly's out today, and so it's a great opportunity. And you have a red shirt too, so that works out well.
I was advised it was
Wear red today.
Okay, there
And
you
we
go.
both have red tennis shoes on. So.
I just got red feet, so whatever.
Oh, no.
Just kidding. When there's a process, a procedure for shutting down a nuclear reactor. They didn't do it.
Sounds
You
like
can't go that route. And, we've heard that for decades and decades. You got to do one small step at a time before you get there. Otherwise, things just go boom, and they went boom. 14 years to get the last one shut down. They had four reactors there. 14 years to close the other three. So wonder the other three did not just simultaneously go off. Now that would have been a problem.
I would say so.
I had family members that worked at nuclear power plants
Mhm.
and scrubbing, and they would have to get scrubbed.
Yep.
But just
Gotta
the
take that
smallest
shower.
leak. Yeah.
Are they still around?
Yeah. They're still around.
Do they glow in the dark?
I was going to ask something like that. Yeah.
I haven't seen them for many years, but
They have glowing
yeah,
personalities.
there you go.
Well, anyway, that's one of the bad things. The worstest thing on this date. One of the bestest things on this date occurred in 1969.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's the year my brother graduated, my older brother.
Mhm.
Older brother graduated then.
Uh-huh.
That's about all I can tell you. 69 and 69. Trying to think.
Well, a young lady came into my life.
Oh,
That's right.
Her name is Candy.
Happy birthday, Candy.
happy birthday,
Yeah.
Candy.
She now is a little bit older, and she won't let me tell when. If you do the math, it was 1969.
Sorry, Candy.
Well, I mean, some people can't do the math because when they get into that other than when you add like 20 to it and stuff like that, people get confused.
Okay.
They got to get a calculator out.
Sometimes that doesn't
Are
help.
you sure it wasn't
In restaurants.
79 she was born? She's just too young to. Well, I'm stopping there.
Okay.
I'll go with 79.
Oh, she's-
Anyway,
She's
happy
a pretty
birthday,
girl,
Candace
yes.
Lim. Don't call me that. That's what she'll say.
yeah, she'll be calling in a minute. I told you not to call me that.
Mhm. I didn't call you that. I called you Candace Lim. Again.
I like that. That's a pretty name.
How are everything down your neck of the woods, Chris?
Everything's wonderful. Doing a lot of, spending a lot of time out at the airport.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, with the Hope
for
for
Crime
the Warriors.
Stoppers.
Well, Crime Stoppers and the Hope for the Warriors,
Uh-huh.
and what a wonderful lounge that has become.
Yeah,
Just,
I'm going to get out there. I'm going to take a day and just drive out there, get me a parking space, and walk around.
well, you come in the lounge.
Mhm.
Personally inviting you to come into
I
the lounge
appreciate
and
that.
enjoy it's almost like this home atmosphere in here.
Mhm.
Couches, recliners, chips, drinks for the young men and women that come
Can I
in.
bring lunch for myself?
Sure.
I mean, I got a couple of tickets that I got to go spend.
I still have mine.
Well, I've already used 2 of them, but I got 2 new ones. That
I've
put in my
got
wallet.
2. I haven't used either one. I was planning on tonight. Or
Well, next week is the end of the month,
Yes.
right?
I know it. I may have to give them one away or something.
Just go get
Well-
2, put one in the refrigerator.
I could do that.
You get-
Chicken's good, and you got potato salad and slaw to go with it. I mean, it's just already done.
Whenever I do
You-
get a
You can eat
plate,
cold chicken any day.
whenever I do get a plate, it usually takes me 2 days. So this will take me 4 days.
Oh, well, that's good. That takes
And
care of
actually-
next week.
Actually, wearing the shirt today because I got deliveries to Dixon High School, and we have another business here in Jacksonville that
Okay.
we're delivering to.
Excellent.
For that, folks,
excellent.
Crime Stoppers right here in Onslow County. They've got this really cool deal, $10 a piece. You can get a ticket.
It's a good saving.
And over at the Smithfield Barbecue, shrimp,
Gum Branch.
chicken, and whatever else you want. But you can get a ticket for $10 and go there anytime by no later than the 30th of this month, the end of April. And that's next week. For $10, you can get a chicken or barbecue plate thing.
You said-
And I'll tell you what, if you
Mm.
go by there and try to buy it outright, it's going to cost you more than $10. By the way, I found that out. I looked carefully at the menu. Taxes already included in this, no problem. Just give them the ticket. They'll give you the meal and you walk out the door.
Or
Or
you
you
can
can
go
sit down in there and eat it if you want to.
and you go through the drive-through if you
Or
want.
go through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
I don't do
I've
drive-thrus.
actually delivered one ticket to people.
Really?
They'll call me up and say, I need one. Okay. I'll
Really?
be there in about 15, 20 minutes.
You know, with the savings that you're getting, you can actually afford to add a banana pudding to it
There you go.
and still be under the regular
Yeah, you
price.
can do that too.
They have
All
good
right.
banana pudding.
And I'll tell you
Yes,
what,
they
the
do.
chicken I got last week was so crispy. The potato salad was so
Oh,
nice and
God.
smooth. The slaw, they do a really good slaw. They've got that formula down, and I'd like to go to work there just long enough to figure out what that formula was, because that one is right. Maybe they'll share it with me if I'm
You
big.
just
They
got in
might.
trouble.
Yeah.
There's
what?
a message on our Facebook. You just got in trouble.
Again, whatever. Candace Lynn, say something.
Stop. I'm on her side. I know what it's like.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry.
My radiologist said, you know, I was taking treatments for a little skin cancer spot on my face and leg. And he opened the door one day and just yelled my real name across the whole room. And all the ladies, the receptionists, they just sat there frozen like, oh no. Oh, I was like, why did you do that? He goes, well, I was like, But I do have to say, I enjoy. He's a great guy, and made all my little trips to the dermatologist fun, if you call
I
it.
thought I
fun.
had your real name stuck right up here.
No, you're not going there.
I did have it.
No.
You probably took it away.
Yeah, I may have, but anyway, okay. Changing the subject
Quickly.
quickly.
What's going on in your world? You binge watched TV again yesterday?
No, actually, I finished up on an audit that I was doing for somebody,
Oh,
and it's over 50 pages long, and it took me about 60 hours, but it's perfect now.
Well, I got stuck yesterday.
You did?
I did. I turned the TV on.
Uh-oh. What'd you start
And
watching?
then they brought the audio, which I have never been privy to, live audio from the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
All audio, no video allowed, but they allowed audio.
right. I did
And I
listen
listened to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is like, I don't care what the case was. This was interesting. The procedure
was.
was different than any courtroom
Mhm.
I've been in. I've been in a few. But
It was almost like a round table. I listened to it
was.
while I finished up my paperwork
Um,
yesterday.
Trump's lawyer, I mean, he had things to say, and he said, this is, and he was very polite in doing his whole thing. The justices, individually, and not in any particular order, they just randomly ask him questions.
Yes.
Depending upon who you ask, it looked good for Trump.
Mhm.
Others say, oh boy, he's screwed.
Well, they brought out points, good and bad, both sides,
Mhm.
and agreed with what one of the justices said. And she said that, as far as being president, like if he ordered an attack, and he could not be held liable for that.
Yep.
But if he had more or less gone out in the street in a personal way and done something where he broke the law, then yes, he could be held liable. So they went back and forth. And Trump's attorney, didn't he kind of make you think of RFK listening to him? He had that
Yeah, a little
gravelly,
bit. Yeah, he did.
gravelly, scratchy voice. I kept thinking, is he
He's got
sick?
sinus issues or what?
Yes, yes. I got kind of tired of listening to him after a while with his crazy voice, but it was very interesting.
Well, you mentioned the audio.
Yeah.
And then last night I was watching one of the news stations, and they were showing the artist drawings of them.
Yes.
It's that the Supreme Court judges have to raise their hand
Do they? Is that what it is?
to get recognized, I guess.
Oh,
by-
okay.
Maybe that's
Well,
what
so
she
when
did.
the chief says, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
And then it would post in words what the Supreme Justice was saying, or one of the justices were saying, and you could kind of tell which one's on,
Sure.
Yeah,
who was appointed by who.
I did listen to that yesterday morning until I finished my paperwork, but
Well,
Yeah,
they had on TV, Fox News was covering it.
Mm.
Every justice was up there, highlighted, they had them.
Right.
And they would highlight the one that was
Who was
talking and
speaking,
go
yes.
full screen with them or go split screen with them, with the lawyer.
I listened to it either on AP on their feed or Reuters. I listened to it on their feed because you don't have the like Fox News people stopping and interrupting. You just go
Well,
straight
Fox
through it.
News did not, with the time I was watching yesterday, it was pretty cool. They did not do a whole lot of that unless there was some sort of a break going on. They took
Right.
no commercial breaks
Right.
during that time. I finally had to get up because I had other things that I was already two hours late getting done.
It's hard to walk away. Like
It is.
that's how I knew it was on, because I had turned on Fox News and heard it. So I automatically went to my YouTube channels
Mhm.
and went to those news feeds and listened to it there. But you're right. It was very interesting. And it was not like, like some of the court cases where you've got the prosecutor and the defense attorney and they're actually fighting in the courroom
No,
and
you don't do
interrupting
that
and
in the
yelling.
Supreme Court.
No, they
Oh.
were very well
They got lots of room
organized
in their
and-
hotels.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if they have that clock. We watched Law and Order in the old one, and one of them, and we had a local attorney, Chuck Henry,
Yes.
I knew Chuck.
That,
Yes, I know
um,
Chuck.
that did a case in the Supreme Court, did a presentation to the Supreme Court.
There are one or
That's
two
pretty cool.
lawyers around here who have experience there.
Very good.
And I'm trying to remember who the others were. I won't even go there because I'm not sure. But I have known others who have been before the Supreme Court, and it's always interesting to hear them, listen to them, and talk with them at a table later on, and say how are things. And they said, you don't play the antics that you play in a normal courtroom.
It's like that courtroom we were talking about earlier in the week where the prosecuting attorney kept arguing with the judge, and then the defense attorney got involved and the bailiff had to put a stop to it.
Yeah, that won't happen.
Man, it was crazy.
Well, it was interesting what they were saying is when they were talking to the people hired by the networks, to the lawyers who's going to be, here's my expert to tell us what really happened in there. And they're saying, well, it's probably not even going to happen until November. Nothing's going to happen until November. I don't think people understand that.
I think the
In my
justices have indicated they will have something by July, perhaps as early as June.
Mhm.
They will render a decision.
That's a lot of study and casework they have to go through.
There is.
It's,
and,
they would spout case so-and-so
and-
versus so-and-so.
And when the lawyer brought up one of those, and the justice asked that person for an explanation, so they'd sit there and read it, tell them what it was. So they're making notes, and they're going to go back and read
Right.
it for themselves. But this is what they got from the lawyer. Interesting.
It was interesting listening to them all talk.
Nobody seemed like they had the answers. Everybody was trying to gather information.
Well, the good thing about it is not only that, but they asked questions and they answered questions without being biased, without the appearance of being biased.
I could tell from a couple of the questions who was appointed by whom.
Mhm.
There were a couple of them up there that were fairly easy to tell who was appointed by whom.
I didn't think so.
Okay.
I thought they were all pretty much right where they should have been.
We've discussed the need for an emergency plan at home in case of severe weather. We've talked about that a lot. The advanced plan that includes have adequate supplies on hand in case you're without normal provisions for a day or two or more. What happens if you're at work and a severe thunderstorm, or even worse, a tornado strikes with little or no warning? As it is at home, there should be a written and posted emergency plan that all employees are familiar with. The plan should include designated emergency exit routes, an emergency alarm system to warn workers of a potential emergency situation. Stock up on needed supplies and equipment. That would include fire extinguishers, just in case. The company should have proper personal protective gear designed for whatever working conditions you have at that company. Always have designated safe places and make sure everybody knows where those safe places are. After the emergency, there should be a post-disaster plan that includes securing the area, making sure everyone is accounted for and is safe, and contacting families. The severe weather tip brought to you by John Stars Electric, a Jacksonville company taking care of your electrical needs, both commercial and residential. And of course, with more and more and more of our requirements for electrical service, the team at John Stars has both the expertise and the experience to help design a standby Generac generator system for both homes and businesses. Local power companies are great at restoring electrical power, but it can take time to get everyone back up and running, and you might want to be one of those everyones at the very end of the line. You never know. Why not power up your life with a Generac generator from John Stars Electric? Call 910-989-1010 1908. Do it today. It's all turnkey and worry-free. Again, the number to get you started, 910-989-1908. Remember, the Atlantic hurricane season, I know you hate me, is only 5 weeks and 1 day away. You're live and local Real Talk. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Chris Trainer. Stay tuned. Sports Talk. Our guests will be the 2 Minute and 6 Pack podcast crew. We'll have Dave Miller, Joey Mahowchik, and Mike Irvin confirmed, and possibly Steve Gibson coming in, all to share their wisdom and sports knowledge and expertise. We'll see you on Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-290-5599. That's 1-800-290-5599. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-290-5599. That's 1-800-290-5599.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at select.com/commercials.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Drs. Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Hey, the Marine Weather Forecast brought to you by Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. Vaping, substance abuse, and drug overdoses are not the only issues that the team at Community Services deals with. Sometimes tragedy can be overwhelming, a problem that you may have issues dealing with. Your job, your boss, all can cause stress that you might not even recognize as stress. If left untreated, stress can lead to anxiety issues. You might know something is wrong, but you just can't wrap your hands around that problem. Believe me, you're not the only one in that boat. Most of us have stress issues to some degree at some time in our lives. When it seems you're not moving forward while dealing with the issues, where you're cowering in a corner perhaps, that's definitely when you need to reach out. Trained professionals are standing by to help you, but you need to take the first step. Call Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville, 910-353-0972. Their credentials and their experiences are incredible. That's 910-353-0972. Okay, offshore today, northeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots, gusts up to 25 this morning, seas 3 to 5 feet, 2 to 3 near shore. Wave detail, this is something new from them. They're trying it out, and I like the National Weather Service for this, so if they're listening, don't stop it. Northeasterly waves coming from the northeast this morning at 5 seconds. That means they're kind of close together. Shifting to the east and coming down a little later today, 1 foot at 10 seconds apart. Yay, surfers, ain't going to work for you. Sounds and rivers choppy. Tomorrow, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4, wave detailed easterly 3 feet at 7 seconds, sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Sunday, southeasterly winds 5 to 10, seas 2 to 3, wave detailed easterly 3 feet and 8 seconds apart, sounds and rivers a light chop.
And today, cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high near 74. Northeast winds 6 to 9 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. Friday night, partly cloudy with a low around 54. Saturday, weather for the 2024 Holly Ridge Bee Festival will be mostly sunny with a high near 73. Light and variable winds becoming southeast 5 to 10. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low of 55. Sunday and Monday, both beautiful days, mostly sunny with highs in your mid 80s.
And for that bee festival tomorrow, we be there. You
We
be there too.
there. It's going to be so fun.
It's going to be a whole lot of buzz going around town, though. I can tell you that. So that's all
The
I
buzz
got
is-
now. We're done. No, it starts at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning.
10.
Starts at 10,
10
runs
to
till
3.
3 o'clock.
That's right.
It's on Sound Road, which is right there where the arcade is.
Yes, the Paradise
Paradise.
Axe Arcade.
Paradise Axe and Arcade.
And
Yes, they got
arcade, yes.
all sorts of good stuff there.
Correct.
Also got a gun store there, Surf City Guns and Ammo. We'll be
That's
camped
right.
out right there.
That's right.
Look for us.
Food trucks,
we'll have
vendors,
we'll have a flag
games.
up, and we'll be all.
Learn about. I'm going to find out what to do about the carpenter bees that are eating the whole backside of my wooden shed.
Okay, Chris has got an answer.
I can tell you what to do.
Clorox.
I can't. I,
There's-
I cannot fire my weapon in the city limits.
no. Well, you'd
Or
have
no
to be a
bomb.
good shot to try and get them. One of two things: a fishing net that you would use in the boat to bring in a fish. Just catch them, stomp them, they're dead.
You don't want to kill them.
The wood boar bees,
You're not supposed to kill them.
the wood boar bees.
Yeah.
Oh, they just dig in the wood and stuff. The other one, there's one of the local hardware stores sells this green thing that attracts them, and they get stuck to it, and then you just throw it in the trash.
I had a friend that made me something. His father made something. It's a jar and it screws into a piece of wood and it's got a hole in the top of the jar. So they'll go into the jar, but it's never worked and they won't come out.
This whole, I've got this picture in my mind. They got a lid, right? For the
Right.
jar, and they screw that lid to a piece of wood.
But there's holes in the top to where the bees can go into the holes.
So it's
into
a small
the jar.
piece of wood. It's not a big old flat thing as big as the jar.
Right.
Okay. The picture I had was something different.
It's just never worked. I mean, I've hung it right there where they all are. The whole back around the trim of the shed.
But
just
did they
got
bore
holes
the
everywhere.
holes in the wood that it was attached to?
Be doggone you, bees.
Yeah,
Hopefully, somebody tomorrow will be able to give some insight.
yeah, I'm sure.
Because
I-
now they're starting on the overhang of my front porch.
hmm
Mm-mm.
You could get an assault weapon for that. I mean, the one that fires salt.
Oh,
Hey, I got an idea.
right.
How about a BB gun?
Oh,
I had to. I had
two
to.
for one.
Let's be a little funny this morning. Okay.
Actually,
We have
growing
to
up as a
stop.
kid, I had BB guns, of course,
Right.
and that was one of our targets because when they come in and get on head
Mm.
for a flower or just buzzing around there, they're not moving very much. I was able to hit them
Wow.
many times. I've popped a many a one.
I
with
know
a
they're
BB
big
gun.
bees, but not that big.
Yeah, they are. They're close. They even get right on top of you.
Well, I know when I'm out there mowing, they'll just fly up on my shoulder.
So
and
you
I'm
get
just
out there
like,
mowing,
"Get
I'll
away."
get my BB gun.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'll use you as my decoy.
That's like standing in a crowd and somebody opens a can of mace with and shoots it against the wind. Yeah, everybody does that.
Yeah, right.
You remember the old fairy tale, William Tell?
Yes.
There you
Lord.
Okay, Trump yesterday, he obviously he could not go to the Supreme Court. The judge, New York judge, said, "Nah, you're going to stay right here. You better be here, or you're going to go to jail." He reacted to what he called the mental hearing on presidential immunity yesterday, saying he thinks it was made clear that a president has to have immunity. I think that was very clear too in listening to this. It's clear you got to
Yes.
have immunity. Where does it stop? it's clear that I have a right to protect myself, but exactly where does it stop?
Right.
After I tie the guy up, can I shoot him then or what? No.
No.
No. There,
No.
there are certain things, there are certain limits to your immunity, to whatever your rights are. They're always there.
Mhm.
Your rights end where mine begin. My rights end where yours begin. The basic concept of law.
Can we apply that to the First Amendment also?
Yeah. Well, it should apply to the First Amendment.
You would think so.
Ah, good.
Uh-oh. I'm scared.
Okay. Takes a while to get the buttons pushed right sometimes. I got to get my way over there. Steve, what's up?
Hey, good morning, guys. How y'all
Good
doing today?
morning.
We're hanging in here. What's up?
Happy Friday.
Thank God.
I was just listening to you talking about the case that the Supreme Court was listening to yesterday. I listened to a little bit of it myself, and I found it interesting too. That's a window we don't normally get to peek through.
That's right. That was a first for me.
Yeah, me as well. I believe. I don't think I've ever heard it before. I know I ain't never seen it, but the things I found were interesting is Trump's lawyers once again were trying to assert that he could be able to murder somebody or get the military to stage a coup, and he would be immune from prosecution from that unless he was impeached and removed from office. And of course,
I didn't hear that one, but go ahead.
But the thing that stuck out to me was Amy Coney Barrett asked him directly about the charges in Jack Smith's indictment, and 5 of the ones that she listed, she said, "Is this an official act or is this personal?" And the lawyer had to admit, "Yeah, that would be personal." And she went right down the list, and every one of them was not a. She got the lawyer to admit it was not an official act; that it was a personal act.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought that was unusual that the Trump appointed justice, pretty much backed that lawyer right into a corner and got him to admit that the things they were actually discussing were not official acts. So I'll be interested to see how the court rules on that one, because even the conservative justices were being rather skeptical about the argument that Trump's lawyer was making. Of course, the liberal ones were skeptical of it. You knew that was going to be the way out the gate, but it was interesting to see that the conservative ones were very skeptical about it as well.
Yeah. What do you see as a problem with saying the president has limited immunity or has no immunity? I mean, obviously anybody has limited immunity.
We have examples in the world right now of leaders that have no accountability that have total immunity, and Vladimir Putin's one of them. He can murder his political opponents. He can jail them.
Sure.
That's an example of what happens when a leader has unchecked power.
Mm-hmm.
And my belief is that was the principle that the founding fathers said, is that no branch of government should have that much power.
Sure. Well, a difference in Russia and the United States is, it's monumental. But, in Russia, for instance, the Putin type of individuals, they can order the execution of whoever, right? They do it. We know that. It's done. Their political opponents are murdered. The difference here in this country is if the president should tell the chief of staff to tell the secretary of the Navy to get a Marine regiment together and go with opponents, now that's following orders, and those are illegal orders. There's a severe difference in the way Putin can do it and the way this president could do it. Could he go out and hire a hitman under those conditions? Maybe so. But the hitman would still be held accountable.
Yeah, I think that's a really dangerous ground for us to be treading in. For 200 years, a president didn't need to be able to have that much immunity, but when we got to this one, all of a sudden, a president can't do their job without having total immunity.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't pass the smell test.
So do the presidents past, those who are still living, should they be held accountable? So when they ordered missile strikes that a lot of collateral damage was done. And quite often the intended target was missed. Should they be held accountable for that? The buck stops with them.
I'm with that one, but I would say they have more. It comes back to like what Amy Coney Barrett was saying yesterday. Is You have to determine what is an official act versus what is a personal act.
Well, I got that, but that was Obama did. It was an official act from the president, right? Orders.
But that should still have its limitations as well. A personal act should clearly not be immune from prosecution. But official acts, I think those should be a case-by-case basis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, depending on what they did, then, you know, that would dictate how to handle that particular situation. You know, to speak in hypotheticals, it would be difficult, you know, in that type of situation.
Which is what we're having to do
what you're
right
talking
now.
about with Obama, you know, that's one that I almost think that, you know, a third body should have, you know, made a determination on that, you know. And we do that from time to time. We have checks and balances, but it seems to me what Trump's lawyers are saying is that they need to take all the checks and balances off of the president. Yeah, it would be difficult to impeach and remove a president if they had the power to murder people.
Okay, murder is an illegal act. First of all, let's get that out.
Well,
to kill,
let's say, if you like a better word for it, go ahead. You know, if you want to say assassinate is better than murder, or if you want to say eliminate, whatever, but it's still murder.
Murder is an illegal act by definition of law. Okay,
That's right. That's what separates it.
homicide.
I would agree with that.
Homicide's a different case.
Yeah.
There's justifiable homicide.
But is homicide? Well, I ain't gonna get into that debate of whether homicide is actually a murder or not. But
It's not.
Yeah,
Unless
I
it's
get
not unless
from a
it's
legal
declared illegal.
standpoint. Right, from a legal standpoint, it's not.
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay,
that.
gotcha.
But that's semantics, is what we'd say. You know, a side note to what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I say, I don't think, you know, our Constitution says nobody's above the law. I don't believe there's anything in the Constitution that says the president has immunity at all. That is just a Justice Department memo that was written, and the Justice Department isn't supposed to be allowed to make law. Congress does.
Correct.
Justice Department just enforces law.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow after Nixon, they were able to write a memo that has become law.
It's become the
But,
standard
you know,
procedure, standard operating practice. Yes.
And one of the justices yesterday do this, then they're writing into the Constitution, the president has immunity.
Yep.
That they're
Because it's never been there before, right? That's my point exactly. You know, is that they shouldn't because they don't. I can understand during their presidency not being bogged down with litigation, but once they leave office, they're a citizen. And I mean, you know, that's kind of that.
So again, after they leave office, they should be held accountable for anything that they did when they were in office.
I think the window should be open for it. You know, if you have something that you can show that they did, that they, you know, gross neglect or, you know, incompetence isn't really something that's I think a chargeable offense, you know, but I have trouble trying to picture a scenario where an official act, how they could corrupt official acts. You know, and I can also understand how, you know, if they ordered a strike on something and there was collateral damage, you know, that how do you order a strike and not have collateral damage? It's a very complicated situation. So I can understand there being a little bit of leeway, a little bit of gray area afforded a president in some circumstances. But what we're talking about here is that a president tried to overturn an election, tried to send the groups of fake electors to, you know, overturn an election. This wasn't him, you know, striking at terrorists and accidentally, you know, struck the wrong place. This was a premeditated, you know.
Do you remember our hostage
illegal
crisis?
act.
Ordered the Marines to stage a rescue of our hostages, and they had 2 helicopters, and they landed in the desert, and there was so much dust that they collided. One of them came up underneath the other one, and everybody was
I
killed.
remember that. I was quite young at the time.
I wasn't,
I
but,
do remember
I was
quite
younger.
a few things
But anyway,
that presidency.
anyway, should that have been even attempted? I mean, I'm not sure where he got his advice, but obviously he gets advice from everybody. The presidents do.
Right.
Part of see if I can.
Once again, you know, you look at things that are official act that they were just stupid or they made a mistake versus something where they're trying to get personal gain and where they know that they're committing as they do it. But what Trump's lawyers are saying is if they know they're committing a crime, they shouldn't be held accountable for it. You know, so I think it's just a distinction between somebody who's trying to do the right thing but does something stupid.
Well, I
and
think in
somebody
about
who
2
knows
months
that
we
they're
will
breaking
know.
the law.
Yep.
Do what? I'm
I
sorry.
think in 2 months we will know from the Supreme Court.
Here's my issue.
Yeah. I'm going to be interested to see what their opinions are on that.
Okay.
Their questions are.
I just want to say here's my issue. It has been from day one of this whole thing. When he was out giving the speech in the cold, did he tell these people to do what they did? He did not, in his own words, say, go storm the Capitol and prevent it.
That's correct.
He never said that.
He just said, let your voice be heard.
Let your voice
He
be
said-
heard.
He
never
said, we
that.
will march together. We
Yeah.
will march.
So he didn't, Martin Luther King said, let's march.
But he did say some things that, the whole rally was to stop the steal.
Interpretation.
How were they going to stop the steal?
But again, there we
all
go.
legal avenues have been exhausted at that point. He needed somebody to break the law to get him to the next step.
As Lee was getting ready to say, that's interpretation. Just like right now, what David Pecker is saying. Okay, in your opinion, Mr. Pecker, yes, in my opinion. Okay, that's your opinion. But it's like what we were talking about earlier, Rayford. We all have one. We all have an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So some people's opinion is he caused it to happen.
I would not say he caused it. It was not a direct call. It was an indirect call. It was the same way that a mafia boss tells his minions to go and commit crimes. They don't tell you directly. They just insinuate. And that's always been his method of operation, is to insinuate, not to say directly. So and even if you watch his speech on the ellipse that day, when he said march peacefully to Capitol, he said it with an air of sarcasm. You could tell he was clearly making a disclaimer.
He says good morning with an air of
He orders breakfast with an air, sir. That's just him. Right.
If you watch it again and do it with a voice of reason, looking at the way he said march peacefully to the Capitol, it was a very unusual way that he highlighted that one, and his voice went up. And if you study human nature and body language, you can tell that was an unusual way for him to say that. But that being said, that all is opinion and is subject to scrutiny. What ain't subject to scrutiny is once the violence started, he sent a text out saying Mike Pence had failed us, and that was not de-escalating the situation. That was escalating the situation, and he did not do anything, even though everybody in the White House was begging him to do something for over 3 hours. So those things are also worth taking into consideration, not just the words in the speech that he gave.
Correct. As was his proactive part, where the National Guard out there before the event happened.
He cannot order them.
But he wasn't allowed to order them. But he said we needed the National Guard there.
He asked, and it was denied. Yes.
So,
Okay. His officials in the White House says there is no record of that ever happening, of there being anybody asking or them offering the National Guard. That's
and there's
something
no
that Trump made up.
And currently, there's no record
saying
from any of that guy at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue sending rockets to Ukraine, and he did, but there's no records of it. So.
We have to go to commercial.
Yep,
Steve.
we're
late.
late. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks.
Have a great weekend.
Have a blessed
Have a good weekend, Steve.
You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
This week on American Top 40, the 70s, Casey Kasem takes you back to April 29th, 1978. You'll hear all the top 40 hits and great stories as only Casey can tell them. So be sure to join Casey as he revisits April 29th, 1978 this weekend on American Top 40.
Check out Casey Saturday mornings 8 to 11 on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
The Cub Cadet Ultimate Sales Event is here. Now through May 18th, save on select Cub Cadet lawnmowers, including both gas and battery-powered zero turns and lawn. The Cub Cadet Ultimate Series, which includes both lap bar and steering wheel models with heavy-duty mowing decks available in a variety of sizes designed to deliver a premium cut. And Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series lawn tractors were engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility. Don't wait. The Ultimate Sales Event ends May 18th. Head to Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and excellent service. Offer valid 4/14/24 through 5/18/24. Participating Cub Cadet dealers and online at cubcadet.com. Prices may vary by retailer, may not be combined with any other discount or offer, does not apply to prior purchases. Other restrictions apply. Void where prohibited.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, Dookie, we're back here, live and local Real Talk. According to one of those online internet sources, I'm reading here, it says any state governor or the president of the United States can call on the National Guard on a moment's notice for assistance. Right. Depends upon what kind of assistance they need. It will depend upon how they show up. In the case of the National Guard that showed up, I guess at the mayor's request in D.C.
Yeah,
they came to
a light presence.
They came to help with traffic control.
Right, they were unarmed.
They didn't come with guns.
Right.
They didn't come with riot batons, I presume. They came to direct traffic. Which, if you're expecting how many people, 1 million extra people in an area, you may want to have some traffic control.
They said they were quickly overrun by estimated 8,000 rioters. Now, we're not talking about the full squad of people there. We're talking just 8,000 rioters. Yep. But there were other people there that weren't rioting. So there, like you said, tens of thousands, I'm sure.
But when it started, it was, and President Trump said, we want to take a peaceful march.
Mm-hmm.
He did not tell them to riot.
Now, let me, as you started to bring up, Martin Luther King called for a lot of peaceful marches.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Some of them turned violent.
Yes, they did.
No fault of his.
Mm-hmm.
He did not encourage it. He discouraged it. Right.
Right. And I really admire Martin Luther King Jr. As president of the United States, Trump ran, he did everything he said he would do to get our country back on its feet in the right direction. Is he arrogant? Yes. Should he stop tweeting? Yes. That was his major problem, in my opinion, which we all have.
2:00 in the morning is not the time to be on the internet.
No, he should be sleeping. Yeah.
Because he's got to be awakened by 5, 4 or so normally. He needs to sleep.
But yesterday is an example of where we're headed right now. Major news stories, gas prices are up.
Yep.
And they've been up since 2021.
And they're continuing to climb, and they're going to continue to climb again.
And food prices.
Yep. As a result of the gas prices.
Yep. Now,
is somebody else taking advantage of these gas prices, increasing gas prices? Well, the gas prices will come down beginning in September.
September?
Yeah, that's when the election kicks off hard.
Yeah, I just realized yesterday was the early voting.
Yep.
Yeah. So
That's right. We need to bring.
Sure. Let's take a quick break. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of these specials and many more at your locally owned and operated Richlands Piggly Wiggly, where good things cost less. Down home, down the street, Highway 24 in Richlands. Half-cut, boneless ribeye loin is only $12.99 a pound. Boneless strip loin is only $8.99 a pound. 12 ounce, regular or thick Walton sliced bacon, $2.99. Whole bottom round, just $3.79 a pound. Sweet blueberries are only $2.99 a pint. And you get 1 pound of fresh strawberries for just $2.99. Enjoy down-home country cooking in the deli 7 days a week in the store. Dine in or take out, featuring hot, fresh chicken that will make you smile. Country breakfast starts at 5:30 a.m. daily at your Richlands Piggly Wiggly Deli and is home to the famous Merle Bowl. You can also take advantage of the fast-friendly pharmacy located inside the Richlands Piggly Wiggly. Richlands Piggly Wiggly, down home, down the street, where good things cost less. Highway 24, Richlands. Remember, say big with the pig. Chico's Tires, 2320 Wilmington Highway is Jacksonville's oldest tire company, and now Jacksonville's newest tire company is Little Chico's, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard. Little Chico's carries all the major brands and all sizes, such as Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and many others, and all new tires have warranty. In addition to a great selection of new tires, Little Chico's has used tires starting at only $30. In addition to new and used tires, Little Chico's does brake service, minor auto and truck repair, expert custom window tinting, and towing. So if you need tires, new or used, brake service, minor auto or truck repair, expert window tinting, or if you need a tow, visit Jacksonville's newest tire store, Little Chico's, 1675 North Marine Boulevard. By phone, 910-333-0473 for Little Chico's Tire Service, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard, right here in Jacksonville.
If you're looking for a home, or perhaps you want to sell your house, why would you not pick a realtor that knows Eastern North Carolina? Candy Brown Thompson has lived her entire life in this area and knows the territory like the back of her hand. She's a realtor with Century 21 Champion in Jacksonville and is known as a professional that will do everything possible to find the right home to meet your needs. It matters not whether you're looking for a small starter home or you're ready for a larger home. Candy will stick her neck out and check out homes throughout the eastern part of the state. She's known to look high and low and show you as many houses as you want until you have found the perfect house you can turn into a home. Throughout the process, she'll treat you with grace, kindness, and integrity, and you'll love her sense of humor. For a realtor dedicated to her clients, give Candy Brown Thompson of Century 21 Champion a call at 910-787-5600. That's 910-787-5600.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local Carrier indoor weather team. Serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967, now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the Carrier experts. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back live and local real talk for a couple more minutes here before the next break, which is only 60 seconds long when we get to it. Fox News, and we'll be back. Our guest in the studio today, our guest host, he's not a guest, he's a guest host.
Thank you.
Is Chris Marks.
I'm enjoying
all dressed
this.
in red. Yes. Yeah, well, we enjoyed the other part of your input here as well. So you do so many things. You got your hands on a lot of cookie jars, so to speak. And by the way, he makes good cookies too.
He brought us cookies.
And I violated my own rule, and I ate 2 this morning before showtime.
I did too.
They actually, being blueberry would count as breakfast.
Is that right?
Sure.
I had breakfast already.
That was a blueberry muffin cookie.
Now,
There you go.
what you're telling me is it's now time for lunch?
Yes.
Good. It means another
Which one of
cookie.
these is acts as a lunch?
Peanut butter or the double fudge chocolate chip.
Or
I'll do
the M&M, or the,
Whatever's.
chocolate chip, all of them, all of the above.
Okay, National Guard. I've just posed the question: who can call out the National Guard? And I've just read to these folks here during the break so many different responses. How many? How many people, and who are they? Well, one. Let's see here. The insurrection of this and that and whatever. And then one of them says the governor has to be the one to call out the National Guard that will be used for law enforcement purposes.
Correct.
Has to be the governor. I will have to go back and explore what status the mayor of Washington, D.C. has. It's different than the mayor of Jacksonville.
Right, because there is no governor of D.C.
So, I don't know whether the president serves as the governor or whether the mayor serves as the equivalent of being the governor, has some of the duties of being governor. I've never heard anything about the president having the duties of the governor.
Nor have I.
So I don't think he does. The president can call out the National Guard for various things, but it has to be for a federal mission, is what another source says.
Right.
So like I say, you got plenty of opinions out there. So I'm trying to find something in writing that specifically says yada, 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 yada.
This article says the former chief of the U.S. Capitol Police says security officials at the House and Senate rebuffed his 6 previous requests.
I don't know that they have the
call in the
authority
National
to
Guard.
call the National Guard.
That's true. That's
They're
true. But
the federal legislature.
there's a lot of people here that were, I would say, maybe dropped the ball on all of this.
Maybe there's something that needs to be definitely set up and carved in stone and maybe go into the Constitution.
Right.
Or at least as a public policy, public procedures. If there is an anticipated large gathering, I may remember the Million Man March on Washington. You remember the 1967 March on Washington? I do, because I was there.
Well, you brought up
inadvertently passing through
a great point when you said Martin Luther King had marches
all peaceful
protests,
marches,
peaceful,
except
some turned violent.
Not by his doing.
That's
because
right.
He advocated otherwise. And then should he have been held accountable for those individuals who broke ranks and decided they were just going to do their own thing?
Something to think about, if they will, while we take the Fox News break, is go to the Black Lives Matter marches that were supposed to be peaceful. They turned violent.
They did, yes.
Were the 2 ladies that were the leaders of Black Lives Matters. Should they have been charged?
Don't know.
Billions of dollars.
Now, here's the question that I'll have too. Did some of those people that were in the King crowd, for instance, or those in the Black Lives Matter crowd, were they there for their own purposes, using Martin Luther King, Dr. King, and using these two ladies with BLM to use their event to be able to go in and do bad things.
Your opinion, military news.
Good question.
News, a military news outlet. I'll ask you this real quick before we go. Would you tend to maybe have a little bit of faith in their stories, military news?
I don't, did you say military news?
Yeah, I'll have to get that. But anyway, it says General Kellogg. Trump did request national troops on January 6th and asked Congress to release his testimony. See, so it's both sides. Who do you believe?
Okay, I don't know. We'll have to look into it some more. We'll find out, I'm sure, at some point in time, maybe in the next century. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSMA. Fox News is now.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246C.
News. I'm Chris Foster. After more than 3 hours of arguments, it's possible the Supreme Court could have a lower court decide whether former President Trump was acting in an official capacity, trying to overturn election results, making him immune from prosecution on some charges.
Justices probed limits like accepting a bribe or even assassinating a political rival, as Justice Sonia Sotomayor put in a hypothetical.
Is that within his official acts for which he can get immunity?
It would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that could well be.
Worried about opening a precedent that does not shield presidents from abuse from overzealous prosecutors.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Biden administration is expected to announce today $6 billion in long-term defense contracts to provide Ukraine's military with weapons and equipment, including more air defense munitions. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local. Real Talk.
Okay, we're back. Live and local Real Talk. And a reminder that tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, 10 to 3 tomorrow, and the fine little community of Holly Ridge, nice city down there.
Yes.
The southern part of our county, on the way to the Topsail Beaches, one of the routes. Beautiful place, great bunch of people there. They've got a big event tomorrow. So y'all need to be there and behave. And ladies, let's say maybe I'll take a t-shirt tomorrow.
Chris, we're being tested.
Maybe I'll take a t-shirt tomorrow for the first lady that comes up with a beehive haircut. What do you think? I'll give them a t-shirt if they can come up and show me a beehive haircut. Not a picture of it. I want to see your beehive haircut. You've got 26 hours to get her done.
How about a bee bonnet?
I don't know what that is.
Wasn't there an old saying? You got a bee in your bonnet?
Oh, yeah, bee in your bonnet. Now, if you got a bonnet and you got a beehive in it, that would be one thing. Anyway, it's their first celebration for the bees, and they're going to have a whole bunch of vendors there. The street's going to be lined with folks selling cool stuff. No doubt there's going to be some honey sales there. I hope so.
I need some honey.
I love local honey.
I am out.
And Robbie uses it in her coffee.
Yeah, she does.
So
and tea.
And tea.
I tried. In my tea, I like it. In my coffee, no. I'm
one
very...
Of the cool way about honey is after you make biscuits and you don't eat all of them, split those suckers in half and have them for breakfast the next morning with a little butter on them, put them in the oven and under the broiler, toast them, and then put butter on them and take a fork out there.
And your natural local honey is good for
allergies.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's go back to news.
Oh my gosh.
What there is to it. It's all about Trump right now. National news and international news. We're made to look like fools. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a couple of months before the Supreme Court makes its ruling, I think, their decision. And we just heard on Fox News, they may turn it over to a lower court to decide if he was acting properly or improperly. Oh, Lord of mercy. Then they will decide, and both sides will say, no, we're going to take that to the Supreme Court. Just make your decision, people. You got 9 of you. It only takes 5 of you to decide. Just get off the pot and do it.
Well, no
Due
matter,
diligence, pay due diligence there, please.
no matter what they decide, as with opinions, there's going to be people that say it was right.
Yep.
They're going to say it was wrong.
Yep.
And that means you're either Republican, Democrat,
or something in between.
Something in between.
I have found that those far right wingers will believe anything that Trump has done was warranted. You've got your left wingers that will say,
Will not believe anything
opposite.
he says.
You've got ones in the middle that while they don't think they are leaning one way or the other, have nothing but negative opinions about everything that Trump has done. I do think that the news media has been responsible for a lot of this.
Yep.
I just sat here and looked up 4 different news media organizations that said Trump did request National Guard.
Yeah.
At the same time, there was 3 or 4 news media agencies that said he did not. So,
And you know, I don't even know. Who do you believe anymore? Look it up. And then who do you believe? Because I find, holy mackerel, I find so many different reports.
and don't think that when these people testify before Congress or before the Supreme Court or district court or state court, are they telling the truth and the whole truth with nothing but the truth?
The truth as I know it, the truth as I see it, Your Honor.
Yes.
Is the way it actually comes out being.
Mm-hmm.
I believe what I believes, and you know, and what I believes is what I believe, and I think it's the truth.
Why do you need immunity if you're going to tell the truth?
That's right.
I have a question. Why do you need immunity?
Because there are other crimes that you have committed that you don't want to come out. So I tell you the truth. Up here, if I stand up here and I say, Your Honor, this man over right here, he's the one who did it. I know because I was there. Oops. But you're granted immunity because you won't be connected to that crime if you tell the lie about this man doing it all. But then they're generally grant, unfortunately, blanket immunity. That means anything you have ever done before that should come up at any time in the future, you've been granted immunity. There was a classic Perry Mason case. I watched it and never forget it. I was a little kid. One of the witnesses, the person was charged with murder. A witness comes up on the stand. The prosecution agreed to grant total immunity for any crime now or in the past. First thing this person did, who was a good friend of the person who actually did the crime, or actually the one who was on trial for the crime. Perry Mason never represented any guilty people, but the person who was accused of it, the witness gets up on the stand and says, first of all, I need to make a statement. Yes, I'm the one who actually committed that murder. Now what? That was a great show.
Yep.
I would believe anything Perry Mason said. Anything.
Well, the witness up there stumped everybody. I killed that person, not him. Oh, crap. Now what? It was a good, had some great writers on that show, I'll tell you that. The Greenville man's in jail after police say he threatened to shoot up the Kinston High School. Greenville police Wednesday arrested Jamarian Williams. The 18-year-old is charged with communicating a threat of mass violence on education property. An arrest warrant claims Williams threatened to shoot up Kinston High School. The warrant quotes him as saying, I should just go shoot that place up. And I think that's what I will be doing. His former high school student at that school. The warrant says Williams made the statement on Wednesday, the same day Kinston police said a gun was seen on the campus. 2 Kinston men are facing charges in that case, and Kinston police said there is no connection with the 2 cases. Mr. Williams remains a guest of the county right now. He's under $10,000 bond. Okay, we've got maybe 2 callers. I'm going to take caller number 1. Good morning. Who's this?
This is Joy.
Hey, Joy. What's up?
Hey, Joy.
Good morning, Joy.
I need to ask a couple of questions and see what y'all think.
Okay.
Do you think when you call in the National Guard that it causes protests to escalate? And also, do you feel like some protesters really don't even care if they're there? They're still going to do their thing and make it work?
Personal opinion, I think that when a National Guard is called in, most of the people who would not be out there raising Cain, they may want to protest, but they're not going to be out there doing anything that they should not be doing. Protest is not illegal. unless you go beyond certain bounds. Those are the individuals of the National Guard, and those will be the majority of the individuals in most big gatherings. Those are the individuals that will, kind of pay attention. You don't have to heads to make them understand this is not a good thing to be doing. The others, it doesn't matter if you bring in the 82nd Airborne.
Yeah.
I mean, Joy, in my own opinion, and I'm watching the protest at all these colleges now. USC canceled their graduation ceremony.
Shame.
Because of that.
I was so upset over that.
That was horrible.
Yeah. Now UCLA has, and we're not going to stop our protest until the college president gives in to us.
Yeah.
And now you've got law enforcement out there with tie wraps and moving them. And I understand the purpose of the protest.
Yeah.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
However, we also have to have law and order. And
That's right.
Correct.
someone has to do that. And if these people are going to they're going to go a little more nuts, I think, in their protest. They're probably not even protesting for the real reason.
Correct.
And they were interviewing some of the Jewish students and about it being and canceling stuff. And he came right out and said the statements that they're making during this protest are against the Jewish people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really.
I'm not sure the law makes it any worse. I think it's just the people that are doing it make it worse.
Yep.
Yeah, that was sort of what I was leaning to also, is what you just responded to. It's the individuals and not necessarily that the National Guard's on scene. I was just thinking about throwing it out. That was all.
Okay. Thank you, Joy.
Good one.
Y'all have a good day.
All right,
Y'all
you
have
too.
a beautiful day.
We have a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Come on down to Holly Ridge tomorrow. Look us
I
up.
know. What time's the start again?
Between 10 and 3. Come on down, get a good parking space, walk the streets. Well, sort of.
Well, I need to call and go get a beehive.
You need to get a
Big
beehive.
done.
I'll bring a shirt or two.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Make sure that you be early.
Mwah.
I had to.
I will.
But be safe.
Be early.
I know everyone listening will be so glad when this bee thing is over.
I think it's cool. Thank you.
Having
Thank
fun.
you. Thank
A bee bonnet hat, but it won't let me post it.
There you go.
I guess y'all have a
Thank you.
beautiful
You
day.
too.
and a
Bye-bye.
great weekend.
See you.
Too.
And we have another caller. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey guys, it's Steve again.
Hey, Steve again.
Just wanted to jump in with a little factoid I found.
Okay. Which one? There's a bunch of different ones.
I'm sorry.
There are a bunch of different factoids out there. I've been reading a bunch of them.
I got you. Well, what I was going to say is I sent a link to Lee that's from a .gov site that shows that the mayor did not have that authority on January 6th in 2022. Congress passed a law that gave him that authority for the first time in American history.
Okay.
And I sent a link to the .gov site that if y'all want to fact check it as well.
So who
that the
in
mayor did not
Washington,
have that authority on that day?
who in Washington, D.C. had the authority to call out the National Guard?
The mayor did it.
The president was the only one until they passed that law in 2022.
No. Now,
They
see,
just never anticipated that the president would not honor his oath of office.
when I said no, let me
and
just
so they-
preface it with this. When I said no,
I'm sorry.
when I said no, not just the president, let me preface it by a fact check that I looked at that said the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of the Army, and the Secretary of the Air Force had the authority to call out the National Guard in Washington. Now, that's a fact check that I looked at. So just wanted to throw that out.
See, that's what I'm saying.
And my fact check shows that I had the right to call them out too, but I didn't do it.
And my fact check shows that the mayor did it and requested it and only got him for traffic control. So there you go.
So he may not have had authority, but he called them out anyway, and they showed up.
No, he put in a request. There's a difference in putting in a request and having the authority to call them. But anyway, that was the fact
It's a
check. I
play
gave
on
you a
words.
source. Feel free to look it up. Y'all have a blessed day.
You too.
And the governor generally cannot even call out the National Guard unless they're from his state.
Mm-hmm.
Other states can call and volunteer their services for that, and that happens like in storms and whatever.
Yeah.
Seen that happen too. But the governor, the National Guard from his state. Does Washington D.C. have a National Guard? Well, now let's go for another.
They don't have a
factoid.
governor either.
Do they have a National Guard?
Well, you can bet yourself that. Like,
Where did the guards come from? The 240 or so that came in for traffic control. Where did they come from?
Virginia, Maryland, I don't know. Well, it's just like if something was to happen serious in North Carolina and the president's looking, he can call the governor and say, you need to call out the National Guard. So the governor calls out the National Guard.
Yes.
Right. So who actually asked for the National Guard? Would you say the president did?
Nope.
Not technically, but in that phone call, he tells that governor, you need to do it now.
They share
See,
conversations
so,
quite often.
People, oh my gosh. We
it's
could argue all day long who did what and who didn't do it and who said what and which news story's right.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Anti-Israel protesters stormed the Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan yesterday, joining demonstrations on campuses across the nation. The Fashion Institute of Technology. What do I say about
At
that?
a loss for words?
Video of the chaotic scene shows security struggling to stop the stampede of protesters, many donning kiosks. I have no clue. Kefias.
What?
Who charged the building. Others who were visibly Jewish and wearing fur hats typically worn by Ashkenazi Jewish men carried signs condemning the state of Israel. The crowd could be heard chanting, "Free, free Palestine," and disclosed the vest, "We will not stop, we will not rest." Parents, do you know where your children are? You might want to check the nightly news. Let's take a break, do some weather, and let me find out who's calling me. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Hey, this is Chris Rainer. This morning on Sports Talk, our guests will be the 2 Men and a Six Pack podcast crew. We'll have Dave Miller, Joey Mahapchik, and Mike Irvin confirmed, and possibly Steve Gibson coming in, all to share their wisdom and sports knowledge and expertise. We'll see you on Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Welcome to Lingen & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want it painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials for many, many more. A locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, Main Street in downtown Maysville. Half cut, boneless ribeye loin, $12.99 a pound. 12-ounce regular or thick Gwaltney sliced bacon is only $2.99. Whole bottom round is only $3.79 a pound. Sweet blueberries, $2.99 a pint. How about a 1 pound fresh strawberry package for just $2.99? Fresh leg quarters sold in a 10-pound bag are only 59 cents a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store in downtown Maysville on Main Street. Over in produce, Halo mandarins are only $4.99 a bag. Genuine Vidalia onions, you get a 3-pound bag for $3.99. Sweet grape tomatoes are only $1.99 a pint. Honey Crisp Western apples, just $1.99 a pound. Remember, that's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store in downtown Maysville, where good things cost less. Remember, say big with the pig.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Oh, yes. We'll discuss my caller in just a minute or so. The Marine Weather Forecast brought to you as a service of Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. We've talked about, vaping, substance abuse, and drug overdoses, but they're not the only issues that the team at Community Services deals with. Sometimes tragedy can be overwhelming, a problem that you may have issues dealing with yourself. How about your job? Your boss? Sometimes they can be a pain. All can cause stress that you might not even recognize as stress. If left untreated, stress can lead to anxiety issues. You might know something is wrong, but you might not be able to figure out exactly what it is. We've all had that kind of a problem. You're just not feeling right about things. You just don't know what it is and why you're not feeling that way. You're not alone. Most of us have stress issues to some degree at some time in our lives. When it seems you're not moving forward while dealing with the issues, that's definitely when you need to reach out. Trained professionals are standing by to help, but you need to take the first step. Call Community Prevention Services here in Jacksonville, 910-353-0972. Their credentials and their experience are incredible. The number again, 910-353-0972. Offshore today, northeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots, gusts up to 25 this morning, seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore. The wave detail, northeasterly, 4 footers at 5 seconds, shifting to easterly, 1 footer, 1 foot waves. That's good. At 10 seconds, even better. Sounds and rivers choppy. Tomorrow, easterly winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 4 feet. Looks like a pretty good day offshore if you want to go that way. Wave detail, they're up a little bit, 3 footers at 7 seconds. Very doable, even in moderate-sized boats. Just be careful. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Sunday, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4. Again, wave detail easterly at 3 feet. At every 7 seconds, sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Sunday, southeasterly winds 5 to 10, seas 2 to 3. Wave detail easterly, 3 footers at 8 seconds. Sounds and rivers a light chop.
And today is cloudy, then gradually becoming sunny with a high near 74. Northeast wind 6 to 9 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with the low around 54. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 73. Light variable winds becoming southeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy with a low around 55. And Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 80.
Okay, so just before we went to the break, you may have heard my personal cell phone ringing, all right? So
Yes.
we took a break, and during that break, I called the said number. One of 2 that actually called. Their numbers are very close together, 9618 and 9907. Okay, we got that one figured out already. So I called, and I got a pre-recorded. Well, they thought they were live, or they acted like they thought they were live, or whatever. You ready? So we're going to try that again here and see what happens. You guys may get calls like this, and if you answer them, this is the kind of stuff that they're going to start posing to you.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Who are you?
I'm me, and I hope you are.
Yep.
Yep, what do you do?
Yep.
Are you in North Carolina?
I'm listening.
Okay, so are we, and we're listening, and what you're going to hear right now is goodbye if you're listening. But anyway, that's the kind of robocalls that you can expect if you actually answer that. Whatever you say, they're going to have a canned response. I don't know how far along the line they will go before they hit you with some kind of a pitch, but it's going to be there.
I love the ones when you are calling a company.
Oh, yeah.
And you will not get a live person no matter what you do.
No, you will not. I always just start hitting 0. And then when I do find somebody that will talk to me and they say, and I've got a complaint, I got an issue, I say, hey, I need to talk to your boss. Okay, I'm the supervisor here. And my first question, do you sign your check on the front or the back? I want the person that signs the check on the front.
I'm the one that's constantly yelling customer service when you call one of those numbers.
Dial 0000000. Good morning. Who's this?
Deplorable.
Hello, Mr. Adorable person.
Waiting for you.
You coming to Holly Ridge tomorrow to be with us?
No.
Chicken.
I can't go and be with deplorables.
You have before. And
You have
enjoyed it.
before.
Chris, welcome to drama country. You're helping the cause.
Thank you, Theo. I was hoping to hear from you, my friend.
Yeah. So, are you a mega Republican?
What's a mega Republican?
He's a moderate.
I'm a
A
Republican.
mega Republican is the one who says that the election was stolen. That's who a mega Republican is. We talked about this before.
No, I didn't. I've never said the election was stolen.
Okay, so you're not a mega Republican.
Well, you can be a mega Republican, somebody who's really in favor of Trump being elected or reelected, but not be in favor of some of those other causes that the election was stolen or whatever.
So I'm hoping that he'll be immune, totally immune. So when Biden gets in for the next 4 years, he'll be totally immune, and he'll be great. Okay, I'm hoping he'll pass the president is totally immune. So Biden and Kamala Harris will be totally immune. I love that.
What?
You know?
I think that's kind of what we've said before. If you grant immunity, just how far does it go?
Let's get it. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. I really like it.
Wow.
Chris,
Yeah.
are you tired of winning or what?
Am I tired? Nah, you never get tired of it. There's always winners. There's always losers.
Yeah.
And in 2020, he lost. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
In the meantime, in my opinion, Theo, I know you're going to get on me for this, but in my opinion, we've suffered for the last 3 years because of that.
Yes.
And he's just Theo, let me ask you something. Seriously. Why will he not take a cognitive test besides the fact he thinks that it makes him look like he's a druggie?
Why is that important? Why is that important to you?
Because I need to know that the person that is in the White House has his mental capacity to be in that position. And let me say this, Obama took it. Trump took it. But the only one that won't take it is the same man that said he was appointed by a senator to the Naval Academy.
He's got a doctor that sees him every day and checks on him, and he's immune. He's the president.
He's immune?
Yeah, you don't have to take it if you don't want to.
Well, why wouldn't he want to? To give everybody, to give his citizens, the people that he is representing to the world, why would he not just take a cognitive test to see if he's
fine?
Say that about.
It doesn't bother me. It might bother you, but it doesn't bother me. A lot of things bother you that don't bother me, like Dr. Jill Biden bothers you.
No.
You're not saying where is the ex first lady that's not by his side all the time. What happened to her? Where is she?
I don't think she's allowed in the courtroom.
How about on his rallies?
I don't think he
What do you
needs
mean
her.
she's not allowed in the courtroom? In the courtroom, your wife is not allowed in the courtroom? You kidding me?
I'm not sure whether she's allowed or not.
Exactly. Now that bothers me that I don't see his wife, because I feel like I said to them yesterday that his wife was right there. He won't just go and talk and be gagged on every court appearance he makes. Maybe if he has her by his, he'll have a little respect for her and talk nicer.
Well, I think
What do
he
you
has.
think of that?
I think he has a lot of respect for her. And when
Really?
when he was president, she was always by his side as first lady.
Really?
Yes, really.
Don't forget, she's an immigrant, and he doesn't have too much respect for immigrants.
Illegal ones.
Well, illegal.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, Theo.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, if you look right now at our illegal immigrants, and my father was a legal immigrant. He came over from Italy.
Illegal immigrants, huh?
Yes, just like the ones that are right now in China paying $10,000 to go to the southern border to come into the United States. And
You don't realize, Chris, you don't realize how lucky you are in this country, because you actually have 50 different countries here. You have a vaping problem right now, according to the man next to you there. You have a vaping problem. If I have 3 kids and I have a vaping problem, you're number 2 in the country in North Carolina, I would pick up my kids and have to go to another country. Okay? Or else I would lose my kids. You have a teen pregnancy here, okay? In this county, you will come in number 2. If I have daughters, why would I want to stay in this county? I would take my daughters and get out of here. I would be moving to another country technically, but because they're all states, you're moving within that country. Okay, we're all immigrants. I came from Jersey. Half of the people down here are from Ohio, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
They left their land.
You're a transplant. You're not,
Okay.
you're not an immigrant.
Okay. You see what I mean?
No.
You see what I mean?
I don't. Actually, I don't know, Theo. I don't, because you're a transplant. You're a northern transplant. It's like when they go to Florida, they're called snowbirds. They go back up to New Jersey, New York, wherever.
Yeah.
But they're not illegal immigrants. These people that are coming in across the border, crossing into the United States, getting benefits, and our own retired military veterans that are sleeping under bridges because they're clearing old military installations to house the illegal immigrants, and our veterans.
How many people are in this world, Chris?
Somewhere around 3-4 billion.
More like 7-8 billion people. You only have 320 million people here. In this vast property, you only have 320. There's countries with 1.5 billion, 2 of them. Now, if you add another 10 billion to your people here, is there a problem with that?
What are you going to do with them?
What are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
They're going to live in this country, in this world. We all have one address. They're all going to live in this world like human beings.
What are they going to do for this country?
God.
How are they going to furnish themselves? We have people.
Okay, never mind. You can twist anything you want. Okay, 6 billion people, only 320 here. You got countries with 1.5 billion, and we're making a big deal because we got 10 million people extra here. Really? Okay, go ahead. But listen, let me tell you something. You can twist Trump all you want. He did it. He didn't do it. We saw it with our own eyes what happened, and we see all his lawyers going to jail. This is the only guy that does the crime with his lawyers. Look at Cohen. Look at Giuliani. Look at John Eastman. Now they got Christina Barber. They're all going to jail, or they're all indicted. The whole world is watching. He's on his 3rd trial on sex stuff, all right? He lost 2 of them already, 2 trials. He's on his 3rd. The whole world is watching, and you're worrying about because eggs went 50 cents higher, huh, Chris?
No, actually, what I'm worried about is the charges that he's being brought up on right now, these sex charges, were before he was president. He was a billionaire playboy who fooled around on his wives, but he was not the president at the time. What he did in the past? Past have anything to do with him?
He was doing it while he was running for president. When he put phony newspaper on Ted Cruz, on Mark Rubio, on Ben Garson, okay, that he forgot a sponge. We know that what that paper is all about. We know it's fake news, but it's the people that actually went and did something like this. Okay, their integrity. Okay, we know the paper's no good. We know they're all lies, but look who he picked on.
Okay, wait a minute.
People that were running against
Hold
him.
on.
This
Now,
is how he wanted to win.
You just proved my point. Dave, you just said the paper is full of lies. David Pecker was the editor.
He's the chief liar.
He's a chief liar.
Yes,
and
we
now
know
he's testifying in a courtroom, and we're all supposed to believe this liar?
Well, I don't know what you're going to believe exactly. What are you going to believe?
I'm going
What
to.
are you going to believe?
At the end of the day, I'm going to believe and I'm going to hope that in November that Trump resumes presidency and our country gets back into a better place.
There you go,
Okay,
Theo.
that's exactly what I believe. You guys
Good.
go with your whatever you want to think. 1,300 people are in jail because of this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, you guys go ahead. We got an 81-year-old man that I have faith in him, and you got 91 felony charges on your side. Let's rock. Let's rock, Chris.
But then, you know
Okay.
what? Hey,
Let's
Theo,
rock.
Theo, hold on. So those 91 charges were brought by 5 states. They're the same charges, and they're
Blue
brought
states.
blue state. They're brought by Democratic DAs in those 5 states, and they're all doing the same charges. So just
Okay.
repeat them.
All right. The fake electors that got caught, 18 fake electors. What does that mean to you? They tried to change the people's vote. They try to change it. Chris, get with me a little bit, please.
I'm with
Meet
you,
me
Theo.
halfway.
I love you, man. I really do, and I love our discussions. But I got to tell you, that lady, that DA in Arizona, just copied what they did in Florida, what they did in D.C., and what they did
so
in
you
New
want
York.
nothing happened to you. No, there's no fake electors. There's no stolen election. So you didn't see anything. You didn't see an insurrection when you had 5 groups: the Oath Keepers, the 3%ers, the QAnons, the Tea Partiers. Who else? The 3%ers. All those people that went there, they went to have a peaceful, some of them with guns. They went to have a peaceful riot, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is 3%ers is a militia group. What I'm saying, what I'm saying is that President Trump did not tell the 3%ers, Anon, or anyone else from the Capitol. He said, "Let's go have a peaceful march."
Did Michael Cohen and other people, he talks in code. He doesn't have to go and tell them, go ahead and storm. He talks in code. When he says you have to
Was
take
it
your
Morse
country
code? I
back,
can read
what does
that.
mean to you?
Well, what it means, I guess, is that Biden talks in code when he says, "I was appointed to the U.S. Naval Academy."
Okay. Whatever you had that day, okay. There's a story that came out of there. I don't know where that came. That won't hurt you in any way. What he said, that won't hurt you. What the other guy said will hurt you. 140 Capitol Police got injured there that day.
Right.
They got injured.
But
Okay.
when Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream," and people protested in a nice way, and then it turned violent, that wasn't Martin Luther King Jr.'s fault. And President Trump saying, "Let's go to the Capitol."
You knew what motherfucker was all about. And you know what this guy is all about. Two
Yeah.
different characters.
Yeah,
Two different characters.
This guy is about our country.
Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Chris, like
Deal.
I said, let's rock. We'll wait and we'll take the legal system. I hope he gets full immunity so Biden can enjoy that the next 4 years, because you never know what might happen.
Yeah, he won't remember it.
Okay. All right.
And we'll go with that.
High five.
Remember those two numbers, 81 and 91.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Have a
care,
good
Theo.
weekend and be nice. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WS. Another caller, but they hung up or got cut off or whatever. Give us a call back. We'll be right back.
Coming up on the next Goddard's Gold, the top male singers of the 60s into the 70s. Folks like Jackie Wilson, Rick Nelson, Elvis, Tom Jones, Johnny Rivers, Glenn Campbell, James Brown, Neil Diamond, B.J. Thomas, Roy Orbison, Bobby Darin. Whew, it's a long list. The top male singers, next Gold. Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on Free 97.1 and 1120 a.m. WSME.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Since the 1930s, people have trusted the local law offices of Attorney John Drew Warlick for personal injury, family law representation, and traffic offenses. That's over 90 years serving the legal needs of people throughout Onslow County, which makes the law offices of John Drew Warlick your hometown law firm. So when you need the services of an attorney, and at some point most people will, the law offices of Attorney John Drew Warlick is here for you. For an appointment, phone 910-455-7700 or visit their location, 313 New Bridge Street, right here in downtown Jacksonville.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
All right, we're back. And Steve, this is your third strike for the day. Go ahead.
I know, guys. I'm so sorry, but I just wanted to. I talked to your guest. He said that I was wrong about the president having the authority to call the National Guard in Washington, D.C., that the secretaries had that authority. I want to let you know I sent Lee a website, is the National Guard in D.C.mil website, and they said that those secretaries only have that authority if delegated by the president. They do not have that authority out of hand, and Trump did not delegate that authority to those secretaries before, on, or after January 6th.
Okay, so your interpretation of that is he has to delegate it each and every time that he wants that they would call out the National Guard. That's your interpretation.
That ain't
right?
my interpretation.
No.
Is that
what you're saying?
National Guard's website.
Well, isn't that what
That's the
Kellogg
statement from the
said?
National
Hold
Guard's
on,
website.
hold on, all of you. Again, it says that the president has to delegate it. Again, the question that I have, does it say that is each and every time that the National Guard needs to be called out, the president has to delegate that authority to the Secretary of Defense and whoever? Does it say
I
that?
would have to look into it further to see if every
Okay.
time he has to do it, but Trump didn't do it.
Okay, so you don't know.
He never delegated that authority to his secretaries in his whole term.
Okay.
That I did check.
He did not. Okay. But again, Steve, what I did is I did a query and got a fact check that said that he was allowed, that they were delegated. They were delegated. I didn't say at that time, they were delegated to be able to do it. I didn't say the president delegated them to him. I'm saying
who actually called out to work traffic control during this time?
That was the mayor that called out the guard to work.
Again, how
traffic control.
The words matter. He did not call out the guard. He presented a request.
Requested. Well, you know what I mean.
And they granted his
Plain
request.
words. Right.
Who is he?
exactly. The mayor of DC at the
Okay,
time.
so the mayor of DC requested the guard come out and provide traffic control.
That's right. Requested guards come out.
Let me finish.
Right.
Is that the way you interpret it, Steve?
That's my understanding.
Okay, so can the mayor then call out or request the guard to come out and to assist with law enforcement duties other than, playing Boy Scout on the street corner? If you don't have an answer, you don't have an answer. I don't.
But I don't have an answer. I would want to fact check that before I told you a definitive answer.
So that's what that's what I want to know. Can the mayor request it? And I'm
I
gonna
would
call our
assume
mayor and
that
see if he can
anybody can
request it.
anything. Whether they grant it or not is the question.
We
But
understand
I'll
that.
look into that and I'll get back to you on that
All
one.
right, sounds good. We'll see you on Monday.
I know he could. He did request it that day, and I believe what we actually did was broke the law to put the National Guard there that day.
Then why aren't they on trial?
I believe we actually, because the person who was supposed to call them didn't call. I believe it was actually an invalid order. I believe Mike Pence actually kind of took over the government, and they let him be the one to call the National Guard. But I could be wrong about that.
I thought you said the mayor requested the National Guard.
He requested them for traffic control.
Okay.
And then everybody requested them during the riot. The Congress, members of Congress, the mayor, even the National Guard was chomping at the bit to want to go, but they needed an order from the president. And at some point, somebody circumvented that law, and they went without the president's consent.
Okay.
So I don't
Hopefully
know
we'll hear
how that played out. But
hopefully
that's the interesting side of it, too.
we'll hear all about that under oath, because everything else is not under oath.
All righty.
Thank you, sir. Have a good weekend.
Well, Army Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg testified under oath.
And he said,
to be clear, on January 3rd, the president asked the Defense Department to deploy the National Guard troops into DC for January 6th contingencies.
so do you call that a delegate? That he delegated to the National Guard?
Right.
Or to the Army DOD, right?
Yes. All right. However,
Secretary of Army.
and that's what he testified to, but they're saying that there's differing accounts, and some members of Congress, some members have rejected this claim, and the situation remains a topic of debate and investigation. So it's all who you believe. Do you believe the retired Army Lieutenant General? Do you believe Trump? Do you believe his staff? Or do you believe others? We will never know the truth.
I think we will, but it will be written in history books.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
The truth this way, the truth that way. I mean, I don't even know who killed.
JFK. Are we going to go back and visit that?
Did Jack Ruby actually kill?
See, that's what I'm saying.
Where did he get the gun? Was he a plant? How did Jack Ruby get into that that supposedly heavily protected area?
And you have to remember, this is politics. You've got the left side not wanting the right side to run and win. So they're going to fight everything they can. It would be the same if it was opposite.
And then Jack Ruby, of course, I'm gonna mess with y'all here for a second. Then Jack Ruby mysteriously contracts cancer while he's in jail and dies.
It was a chemtrail. They let him out in the play yard.
What I'm finding interesting is when these people that are appointed by president to serve as whatever, and they're asked questions by reporters, they don't answer the question. They dance around the answer.
Of course.
And they were talking about the Chinese paying the money to go to the southern border to come into the United States. And when they asked about it, he said, we're in discussions with China to try and get them to stop it.
Well, that is an admission. If he's trying to get them to stop it, then he just admitted that they're doing it.
But didn't they also say they were talking to the president of Mexico to try to get him to stop it happening? And it hasn't helped. It doesn't help. But they didn't answer the question.
Why don't we just invade Mexico, go to their southern border and stop it there instead of trying to stop it at our border where we got laws that the president, because we do it down there and do it. Hire mercenaries. There's a lot of them unemployed that were just looking for an opportunity. Okay, let's take a break. Local Real Talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only cover protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, Solitech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home that's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it. The Cub Cadet Ultimate Sales Event is here. Now through May 18th, save on select Cub Cadet lawnmowers, including both gas and battery-powered zero-turns and lawn tractors. The Cub Cadet Ultimate Series, which includes both lap bar and steering wheel models with heavy-duty mowing decks available in a variety of sizes designed to deliver a premium cut. And Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series lawn tractors were engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility. Don't wait. The Ultimate Sales Event ends May 18th. Head to Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and excellent service. Offer valid 4/14/24 through 5/18/24. Participating Cub Cadet dealers and online at cubcadet.com. Prices may vary by retailer, may not be combined with any other discount or offer, does not apply to prior purchases. Other restrictions apply. Void where prohibited.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and cuts and threads. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City. Open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 to 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Hardware, 252-726-7158.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back here, and Joy, good morning again. How are you?
Good morning. Real quick, I know it's time, but I was just thinking something. Weren't they aware prior to this event? Don't you have to get a permit to have these types of functions that they were having? And weren't they aware of what was going to
I think they do.
place
They
that day?
should have to get them. I do not know for sure. I don't know about there, but normally you do have to get them. Did they get a permit? I do not know.
But you would think that them knowing what was going to be going on, they would have been more prepared than what they were, is
Well,
what I'm thinking.
I can just tell you that back in the day, back in the 70s, after that, I do not
Yes, sir.
know, but in Jacksonville, you had to get a permit for an event like that. And at that point in time, the police department was involved in that. They had to look it over and to decide if they needed additional personnel to be in certain places during that time. That's the way it used to work. I have no idea anymore, and I certainly don't know anything about Washington, D.C., except that I will do
No.
everything I can not to go through it.
Okay, it just crossed my mind. I was thinking, it seemed like I remembered they knew that it was going to take place, and I'm thinking, well, if they knew it, and did they get a permit, and they should have been more prepared. That was just my.
They should have been better prepared.
That was all.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
we'll have to.
That was all.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one. Okay. Let's, we got a couple things we're going to talk about. We do have one
Yes.
final caller, but it'll have to be very brief. But anyway,
Right.
sports talk in about 5 minutes.
That's right. Today's guest on Sports Talk will be Dave Miller,
Yay.
Mike Irvin,
Oh my.
Joey Mahalchik, and I know I didn't say that right, and possibly Steve Goodson as
Yeah.
the two men in a six-pack podcast group reunites today to talk
Yay.
about all the sports going on in the sports world. I know they've got a lot to talk about. The NFL started their draft picks last night.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then tomorrow we have the 2024 by the Holly Ridge Busy Bee Committee in the
Busy
town of Holly Ridge, 127 Sound Road, Holly Ridge. Get ready to buzz with us at the Bee Festival. Join us for an inaugural Bee Festival. Our festivities, a wide range of activities that will keep you buzzing through the day, including food trucks, vendors, and more. Plus, our DJ will be playing sweet tunes to keep you grooving. Don't miss out on the fun, and that's from the city of Holly Ridge.
And then we'll be
The
there
town
too.
of Holly
The
Ridge.
live and local team will be
That's
there.
right.
We're not doing a live remote. We're just going to be there to say, hey, how you
That's
doing?
right.
We want to meet you. We want you all to meet us. And because we understand from reliable sources that
Right.
some of you never knew that we move from one place to another, one station to another. So
That's right.
we're going to let you know
We're
where
going
we
to let
be.
you know. We're putting the word out, and
We're
there's
going to
several
let you know
other,
where we be.
other events tomorrow. Breakfast fundraiser at Bethlehem Baptist Church from 8 to 11. Vine and Dine tonight by the United Way. And so there is a lot happening in Onslow County this
First
weekend.
lady with a beehive tomorrow shows up in front of us and says, I got this beehive, not a real beehive, but a hairdo
A
beehive.
hairdo bee. I could probably put mine. I have hurricane
Then
hair.
I got the shirt over there. I'll give you.
I
Okay.
have shirts. I don't need any more.
Okay. And let's see, Bill, you still there, Bill? We got just about 60 seconds.
Oh, well, yeah, I just calling to say I think a lot of these kind of things that occurred, like on January 6th, et cetera, it's intended to cause controversy, of course, and then a lot of gossip.
Okay.
And I look back to, like you were talking about the Delta Force thing with the CH-53 crash with an Air Force plane, and that was, sort of gotten everybody like. I was on float at the time, and we were just anticipating, when are we going to get called into this, et cetera. And but in hindsight, it looked like it was meant to fail, so that the people that were hostages in Iran and they're from the U.S. Embassy and the Israeli Embassy could. I thought in hindsight, so they could participate in that Olympics in 1980 in Russia. And, they were talking about the hostages,
Okay.
et
All
cetera.
right. We're running out of time, Bill.
That's just my opinion.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Have a great weekend and be nice out there. Be safe.
Take care, my friend.
Okay. All right. Now, Chris, thank you.
Been fun. Thank
Chris
you.
Marks has been in here all morning long, and
Great
he's going to
time.
probably have to go
Oh.
somewhere and like cool his
I think
heels.
he created chaos.
Chris, the chaos creator.
Thank you. Chaos Chris. I'll take it.
There you go.
Chaos.
There you go.
That's
Thank
nicer
you for
than
the
anything she
invitation.
calls me.
Yeah.
Especially when I get my jokes and stuff like that,
I like your jokes.
like the Hurricane Hunter plane.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'll tell you one real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, cost of living is so bad, I can't afford to go out and buy my favorite perfume anymore. So generally what I do is, you know, those magazines where they have the free samples in the magazine, you open it
You
up and
just
you
rip
rub
them all
it.
out.
Yeah. And somebody asked me the other day, what are you wearing? It smells so good. I said, page 12. Here we go. Gonna
You
end
go to the
end the
mag-
weekend.
You go to the magazine racks and just rip out the perfumes out of the middle of them, right?
Can't afford the real stuff anymore.
You won't find one in the National Enquirer.
Yeah, it does. Of course. Well,
Okay, there you go.
have a great weekend, y'all. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget Sports Talk coming up right after Fox News break, and at 10 o'clock this morning, another dose of the Daily News with our buddy Rick. And then at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Rick's going to haul off. He's going to wind up. He's going to chunk that pitch right straight towards Chris Hollywood Band to see if the man in town can catch it. What do you think? You're
That's
live
right.
and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We got a busy week next week. So stop by. We'll see you then.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa.